Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? I'm just Russ here from Porky's Corner. The biggest gob in sport. 10 to 10 on a Sunday morning. What can you do? It's time to review Eddie's show last night. Oh my God. Anybody watch it? How bad was that? How bad was that? Eh? What do you drink? Hey? How bad? I mean, 9 fights. 9 fights. That's 18 fighters. Obviously, 2 each fight, isn't it? 2 fighters a fight. 9 of them, I can't even read the names. So I'm just going to pick what I want to speak about. Flynn and Baker, that were a draw. Could have gone either way, but we'll draw a fair result, maybe. Cyrus Patterson against Conan Walker. Retired 8th round retirement on it from Patterson. It's pure garbage on it all the way through. And that main event, which I did have an interest in because when I started at Dennis's, AJ Hobson used to manage Tommy Frank, and I thought you were a decent enough kid. But what you have with boxers is they're very insecure people. Trainers are as well, but boxers are very insecure. We used to get into more arguments, me and Dennis, or Big Ron, regarding Tommy Frank than any other fighter. Yeah, there's been a couple of incidents. I'm not going to go into detail behind the scenes. Rhea's family that were upset about things that I said, Tommy Frank's family. And it's easy to stick up for your own, isn't it, if people are critical, but I don't like to waste my time around people that can't fight. If you're in that sort of business, you can't fight. Tommy Frank, that's the bottom line. Trotch once said to me, look, if it's not in you, it ain't in you. Some people fight like a coward. It's not in them to let their hands go because they don't want to get hit. No, I may be talking out of turn here, but I like to keep it real. Tommy Frank sparred Josh Whale. First started crying and changing rooms after. When I heard that, I thought, I ain't going to do now. But I kept it in-house and didn't say anything. And I remember one day, there were an email and then phone calls regarding a fight with Sonny Edwards. People might remember. Me and Dennis did a video on it and I got stuck into him and he didn't like it. And I said, why are we knocking this fight back for Tommy Frank and Sonny Edwards? Why, Dennis? Dennis's reply, well, we're going a different route to stop going mad. I said, yeah, but it's a British title. I'll get him a British title down the line. We're going to go on outside. We might meet Sonny down the line, like Jim McDonnell. He didn't fancy Barry McGuigan when he was knocking everybody out. He got him, went that other way to get him. So I said, oh, okay. Jim McDonnell was a world-class fighter, by the way. He gave Zoom and Nelson all they could, didn't he? So I said, yeah, no problem, Big Ron, no problem. But what are we in boxing for if you've got a fighter offered a British title and you're knocking it back? Where are we going with this? Where? We're not going anywhere, are we, if you're knocking British titles back? They didn't agree. Wanted to get him trinket belts and stuff like that, which I didn't agree with. And then I remember one show coming to end of the fight. Tommy was fighting a Mexican kid. He was unbeaten, Tommy, at the time. I don't think he was unbeaten, yeah. And I was still with Mick Whale and Stig. He said, Mick says, have you got it? I said, I've got him getting comfortably beat here. Mick says, all right. Anyway, scores came in. Tommy Frank got the decision, hometown decision. The crowd booed, his own fans booed. It's bottom line. You can dress it up however you want to dress it up. The crowd booed. So I felt vindicated. So I said, there you go. That's Tommy Frank, Dennis. Well, you know, sometimes that happens. On the Monday, he came down to office for the money. It was raining. They didn't think anybody were in. I went outside and there were Tommy Frank there and Glyn Rhodes. You remember, don't you? Sat in this sponsored Audi that Dennis got him, eating whatever they were eating, KFC or whatever. I banged on window, it was pissing it down. I went crack. I weighed him all right. What do you think's at boxing, Porky Ross? Well, I thought you got beat, Tommy. But you got the decision, and sometimes you'll not get the decision when I think you've won. And that's just a rough it smoke, isn't it? But I thought you got an hometown decision. And he went, with window up, left me hanging in rain. So I've gone on window, put window down. Only banter. No, it ain't banter. It's rudeness. You can't take criticism. I think you sound lucky you got that win against that Mexican kid because he flogged you. And that's happened in 2 or 3 fights from then on, hometown decisions. But you're not allowed to say anything, are you? Why? Bit like when Robbie Barrett pulled me in Steffi Bull's gym. You said get beat against Mitson. Yeah, I did. And you got knocked out. You know, you're supposed to be neutral. You're a YouTuber. Now I'm not. I give my opinion. Right? You got put to kit. Simple as. Tommy Frank can't box eggs. All right, so they've had to navigate him. And look, they did get him a British title in the end, didn't they? Dennis bought him it, coming off losses, wasn't it? What does it state in Green Book for British boxing motor control? You can't fight for a British title coming off losses, can you? This is the original template for poster from 3.5 years ago, that world title fight. Tommy Frank against Flores. Didn't happen because of the pandemic. But if he'd have got that fight in Sheffield, he'd have got an hometown decision, wouldn't he? He'd have been able to tell his grandkids, well, I'm a former world champion. What? Harsh, aren't I? I'm speaking the truth here, right? I backed him to lose him round 1 yesterday. Is that hypocritical? So be it. Because I know boxing, and I know Tommy Frank, and I know he's up against an Olympic gold medalist, and they cashed him out. But he could have carried on, but the towel came in. Did everybody back round 1 up there? Because I know everybody round here backed round 1, and I did. So it is what it is, isn't it? So what can you do? That's the bottom line. It's in an accumulator anyway. So let's see if 3 or 4 more fights come up. Just trying to make the bet interesting. And if it all comes in, it'll be all right, won't it? But it's a long shot. But that's the truth, in my opinion. Cashed him out, that kid, last night. Cashed him out on a shite show. He were cashed out. Dave Allen will be cashed out against It's Big Freeze. Dave's there to lose. Dave's not stupid. He knows that. They'll want the dough back that they had invested in Dave the first time and this time. They want the money back. That's just boxing, isn't it? I'm afraid. But that were a lamb to slaughter last night. He were putting that fight to be fed to Yafai, and he was eaten whole. Harsh, but true. If Tommy Frank don't like that, tough. If Glyn Rhodes don't like that, tough. Now, the throwing towel in like that, Glyn Rhodes always used to say they're somebody's babies, and I can understand that because Scott Westgarth died on his shift, didn't he? But if they're throwing the towel in like that, he shouldn't be training fighters, Glyn Rhodes. Shouldn't be training them. Shouldn't be training, throwing towel in like that. Oh, that's how I look at it. That was embarrassing. It'll be swept away because it's Eddie's show, innit? Nobody will be allowed to ask proper questions on it. But that to me were a poo feast. The main event. Come on. Tommy's just lost against the kid with 28 losses, hasn't he? Harsh again, but true, innit? Really, he should have about 7 losses on his record. He's past 30-year-old now, flyweight. I don't know. Should retire. But when you're knocking fights back for a British title against Sonny Edwards, and I'm going at it, hammer and tongue over it, there's a problem. What are you in the sport for? Yeah, we got him a British end. I always used to say, listen, if he's not ready for Sonny, he'll learn from it. You always say you can bring him back, don't you, Dennis? I brought Clinton back after he lost to Dave Starry. We brought him up at a different way, yeah. You brought him back at light heavy. And then you had an excuse, he was tight at weight, which you were anyway. But come on. He were fed to that kid yesterday. And other people would have done well like that. I ain't buying all that towel coming in. Because you're guaranteeing loss, aren't you? You're guaranteeing if they've had a bet on that, they've guaranteed money in bank, haven't they? So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens. If not, and they throw the towel in, they don't know what they're doing, so they're either bent or incompetent. They can't have it both ways with me. It's all right for them to say when it's happening on other shows. I know what I saw yesterday. If you don't like it, F off! So that's that. Dennis, if you're not happy with this video, I know you're watching, give me a ring. Don't be a crybaby. We all know what we saw. It's just that them people around you will be too frightened to tell you, won't they? I'd tell you if I were up there now. So that's where we're at. As for Matchroom, they'll be embarrassed with that. But next week it'll all be swept away and we'll be on to something else. There'll be some Conor Ben news or Dylan White news or Boone Gardner news or there'll be some other news of somebody else failing a dope test. So, okie dokie. I'm off for 4 hours now. Snooker on my own. I'm just going to lose myself for 4 hours. All right. Peace out.